Hello, it's me. I was wondering if after all these years you'd like to meet to go over everything. They say the time's supposed to heal ya, but I ain't done much healing. Hello, can you hear me? I'm in California dreaming about the way it used to be when we were younger and free. I've forgotten how it felt before the world fell at our feet. There's such a difference between us and a million miles. Hello from the other side. I must have called 1,000 times to tell you I'm sorry for everything that I've done. But when I call, you never seem to be home. Of me to talk about myself, I'm sorry. I hope you're well. Did you ever make it out of that time when nothing ever happened? It's no secret that both of us are running out of time. From the other side, I must have called 1,000 times to tell you I'm sorry for the thing that I've done. But when I call, you never seem to be home. Hello from the outside, at least that I can see I tried
How are you? How are you? Glad to be here. Thank you for asking.
Oh, we are so glad that you said yes. Oh my goodness. Miss Kimberly Fleming is a legend in her own right. And I'm actually going to put some of her professional pictures up. Miss Kimberly Fleming, can you please let the audience know know how long you've actually been in the industry, and some of the things that you have done. So here we go. Miss Kimberly Fleming.
Well, I attended Fisk University in Tennessee State in Belmont, and I was a Fisk Jubilee singer. And I started doing demos when I was in high school. I sang and danced at Opryland, USA, and then I got my first tour with Amy Grant, and I did my first Grammy performance when I was a kid, and actually we won. But at any rate, I've sang with the likes of Winona, Destiny's Child, John Bon Jovi, Shantae Moore, Phil Perry, Will Downing, Stevie Wonder, Aretha Franklin, Shirley Caesar. I was the vocal director for the Stella Awards for 10 years. I've done musical theater. I've modeled. I've been in several films, sang on several films. And just been a contractor and a casting director for different projects, master recordings, jingles, you name it. That's my principal role. Yeah.
Her resume, guys, is so impressive. Let me tell you something. When I grow up, that's how I want to be. I try to be like her when I grow up. Okay. And I mean, the Lord has blessed me. A lot of y'all know my resume, but my Lord, like she's my mentor. Okay, she has to mentor me because I would love to do what she's done. Be the musical director for like award shows and different things like that. She's traveled with a whole resume of artists that I would love to have worked with. So when I say it is an honor to have Miss Kimberly Fleming on today, it's an honor. Y'all are going to get a treat because she's here and she's going to share a wealth of knowledge with you all. So without further ado, I am going to step out of the way. And Miss Kimberly Fleming is going to take it away and let you all know what she's going to teach on this evening. Miss Kimberly Fleming.
Thank you, Shanrae, for having me here. So I want to go to the first of all, if you want to be in the music business, you have to have the knowledge about the business. It's more than just a talent. You have to be educated about what you're getting into, and if you get into it, you need to get into it because it's your passion, not your hobby.
That's right.
Because you're going to make it a career, and that means that money is involved, and there's a strategy and a plan for all of that. And then everything is not about the money. Sometimes it's about the networking, and it's about who you know, and it's about being at the right place at the right time, because all eyes are always on you. And so we have some key points that we want to talk about today. The first one being, I think, the booking and networking. And so for me, what I say is my mantra is one gig leads to another. And that means that you go out and you support your fellow singers, your fellow musicians, just being in the place, just people seeing you. But at the same time, if someone asks you to do something, and like say, for example, I'm a member of 10 Acres in the Smoking Section, and that's a band that's real popular in Nashville, and it's full of 18 studio musicians and singers. Ooh. And so when I first got on there, I mean, there were people who I'd been on the road with, people who had been on the road with Winona, with Amy, Rascal Flatts, Anita Baker, the likes. So I was looking at all these people on stage, and there was no money attached to the first 2 or 3 gigs. But then I said to myself, now all these people won't be on this stage if they didn't know that something was up, right? And so I said, I'm going to stay amongst them. And one thing has led to another, and years later, we make up to $1,000 a gig. And that's just from being dedicated to it. You start out at zero. Right. All the way up, you know. And so, and then keeping your chops up. Now, what is the chop? Your skill set up, and being able to experience different genres of music on the highest level, being able to take instruction, being able to observe how people carry through and work through with the music. You need to know charts. You need to know the number system. You need to have, need to be able to read music. You need to be able to speak the language, and do it well without attitude. Be flexible and be open. And so the networking part is when someone asks you, say, when I first started out, I used to go to clubs and I just say, hey, Shanrae, hey. And then they say, oh, Kim's here. Would you like to do a song? And then I get up on stage and I do a song. And that led to, other gigs. Because people in the audience, you don't know who they are. You don't know who's sitting in the audience. And so to come in gracefully and conduct yourself in a graceful manner and then leave out gracefully, making sure you say hello to all those along the way. And saying positive things, even if it's not good enough. They ask you something, then you can be honest. But most of all, you just cheer them on and be a positive for them while they're doing their thing. And shaking hands and just, being nice along the way. Because I will say for myself, I'm blessed to have not really auditioned for hardly anything.
Wow.
And I've been doing this a really, really long time.
Wow.
And it's all been word of mouth, recommendation. And when I come into a room, I don't come into a room half-step, and I come into a room with 150% of myself.
That's right.
Even if the song or the situation is not so randy-dandy, you handle it as if it's though the top end of the spectrum. Because everybody who puts their music out there, they want to have the same respect. You may have a beginner writer who's not that great, but they would like to have their music handled with the same respect that you would give Beyonce.
Right.
And because they need that support and that uplift. So yeah, that's about the networking and the booking. Now the next point I have, I think, is that's number 2. Growing your following.
Yeah.
Growing your following. So the same thing. I'm not really a crowd girl. I'm kind of nervous about crowds, and I'm gonna tell you why. When I was on the road with Amy Grant, we used to go to the edge of the stage and we used to meet and greet the audience. In fact, a couple of people have moved to Nashville because they said I was so nice to them. They wanted to get in the industry, and I said, come to Nashville. But at the same time, fans are fanatic. They're hyper excited, and they can be get out of hand. So one time, I hate to borrow people's stuff, but a fellow singer of mine, Donna McElroy, she teaches at the Berklee School of Music in Boston, an incredible teacher, singer, songwriter. I borrowed a shawl of hers, and I bent down to shake the hand of a fan who was really excited, and the fan tore the scarf, and I had a nervous breakdown right there. Wow. I tried to be nice, but my whole world just shattered, and it made me a little skeptical from there on about being in the midst of the crowd. But they didn't know it. I didn't go off on them.
Right. Because
I was nice. Those people, it started there. It started at Opryland. It started at school, just doing talent shows. But I've got so many followers that, I'm not in the tens of thousands yet. But for me, God has really blessed me. And so you stay nice to those people. You engage with those people. When I talk to them on Facebook or whatever, I always try to have something nice to say. And I will say this, that I did my first Facebook Live performance. I just did it because I didn't want people to be lonely during this COVID season. And I wasn't expecting much. But when I got done, I had over 8,000 followers, and I do not have a record deal. I do not have a promotion company. I do not have, it went off, Andre. I don't have all the things that a lot of other people have. But God took that thing, he took a seed and he put it to a big garden. And so then from there on, I've been in demand. So I think it's really important to engage with your fans. Okay, and so the next point. Oh, I just want to say this: stay humble.
Yes.
Don't take anything to smile and be nice to a person. You're not that grand. You're not anything without God.
I'm so glad that you said that because yes, I think we both experienced the same things with I don't want to. Well, people that kind of arrived. You know what I'm saying? That type of attitude. So that is so true. Stay humble.
Yeah, because everybody's blood is red. So at the end of the day, I mean, confidence is one thing, conceitedness is something else. So just stay humble, because 1 minute you're intact, but it only takes a millisecond for you to be cut up, broken down, even dead. So just keep it humble. Okay, now I got a third point, right?
Yes, you do.
Okay, and so we're talking about when booking sessions and stuff. When booking a gig or booking a session, it is important to ask key questions. Now, I went off on a tangent about booking a session, but if you don't ask questions, then you won't know. And then when all is said and done, you'll be feeling some type of way. Oh, they didn't do this. But that's because you didn't ask questions. So like, let's say, for example, when you're called for a session, the person that calls you for the session may or may not be the producer. And if he does call you, is he calling you first? And is he calling you to get some singers? Like, so I'll get a phone call and they'll say, Kim, I got this session coming up and I want you to give me some singers. And that means that I am the contractor. When the person on the phone asks me to get singers, then I am the contractor. If Shanrae calls me and says, I got a gig or I got a session for you, then Shanrae is the contractor. Okay, so it's a contract person. Okay, but when we have the conversation, what type of session is it? Is it a master? Is it a demo? Is it a jingle? And if it's a jingle, is it a regional jingle? Is it a national jingle? I mean, is it for a film? Is it for television? Is it an indie? What type of session is it? Because each session has different rates, but there's a 2-hour minimum, and there's a base scale for the 2-hour minimum, and then there's a base scale for a solo or a duo. So me as a soloist, I may get and so say me and Shanrae sing together, we're solo duo, we'll get the same. But if it spreads out to 3 or more, then there's a contractor fee, and then the rest of the singers divvy up. Now, then in Nashville, there's certain things that's stacking. So you put down a side, that's one time you sing, that's one price. Right. Then you put down another side, that's half of that original price. And every time you stack, it builds up like that. So when you're having a conversation with the producer, if he cannot afford to pay you those stacks, you need to get that clear up front before you sing 1,000 times. Right. And they talk about, I didn't know I'd have to pay all that. Yeah, you have to pay every time I sing. So if you don't have that budget, let me know that up front so I can cut you a deal. I'm flexible, I'm open. Right. But you need to have that dialogue. Right. Okay. And then, if it goes on the card, now on the card means, is it going to be a after SAG session? Right. Right. If it is not an after SAG session, can you pay equal to or close to at least the base price of that? And if you can pay the base price of like it being a master or something, then, can you pay that and you have 2 or 3 different songs, not 2 or 3 stacks, because they say a stack is a song too. No, we're talking about separate songs. So I got 4 songs and I'm going to pay you $180 for each song, or I'm going to pay you $180 for each hour, whichever is greater, and whatever the person can afford. But you need to have that conversation. Don't expect that they're going to pay you after SAG scale, and they don't have that, and you didn't ask about it. Then you need to ask, is it a pay direct? Right. Or do you have to wait on a check? And according to After Scale, they got 30 days. Now, what After does after 30 days is after attaches interest onto that, or they go after that person, that company
Yes,
that
they
you're
do.
working for.
Yes, they do.
You don't have to do any of that because that's what they do. But if you don't ask those questions, then you're responsible for getting that pay. No one's going to go after for you. The other thing is you can work out a day rate. I'll work for you, like studios will give you a $500 day rate. You can do anything you want to from 9 until 9 at night or whatever the rate is. But sessions are from 10 to 2, 2 to 6, and 6 to 9. That's a regular, normal union scale paying session. So if you're working for somebody, you ask them, you need to separate and see what their window of time is. Because if they can't do it during those ones, well, I can do it at 11 in the daytime, and I got 4 songs, and it's off the card, meaning it's not a union session, and you negotiate what that fee is, or they'll tell you what their budget is, but you need to ask. Anytime you go to a session, you need to already have your I-9 and your W-4, because if you don't, it's going to hold up the payment for all the other singers. So have that up front, and that person needs to have it for their taxes, and you need to tell them that you want them to take taxes out of it too, because if you don't communicate that, then they won't. And then here's the other thing. As a singer, you need to be able to sing all genres of music.
Yes.
It is important to study all genres of music. Okay? If you want to work. And when I say all genres, I mean you need to go and listen to the radio, listen to CDs, listen to stuff that you would normally not like. I listen to hard rock and Motley Crue or whatever. And when they called me, I was actually in a band called Jane His Wife. It was me and Vicki Hampton. Vicki Hampton sings with Garth Brooks, blah, blah, blah.
Yes, yes.
All right. So we were in cages, and there's 4 white boys down here, long hair, guitars flailing, and, and we're, over there. Hey, we worked for 4 or 5 years,
right?
With that particular band. And then we can come on over to like a love song. Say the emotions. Ooh, you got the best of my love. Whoa. I mean, you have to be flexible, and then when you're singing with Dr. Jones, oh, Jesus got a hold of me. You have to be able to be flexible. My degree is in classical music and opera, and so I didn't choose to go to Europe. But if someone to ask me, I can go into the Lord's Prayer, the Ave Maria, because I'm trying to do that, and I know how the body works, and how to breathe, and the posture and all these things. So it is important to, even if you don't get a formal education, you need to do some research on how the body and the voice works and all that, if you plan to do this for a living, because the body is not a machine like you plug in an amp.
Right.
The body can break down, and you have to take care of it. Now, the other questions that you could ask if you were doing a session is like, who is it for? What is the artist? All that kind of stuff. Who's the producer? Where is it? What time? And you need to know these things, because there's a certain mindset. If I'm singing for Reba, like, there's a song out there, here's your one chance fast and don't let me down. Well, I sang that. Okay, so I know Reba is going to go that way. But if I sing, it takes a fool to learn that love don't love nobody. Well, that's Phil Perry. That's a whole nother thing, so I need to be able in my mind to flip. And then the other thing people need to pay attention to is the lyrics, because the lyrics will dictate the attitude and the approach of the song. Now, if you want to book a gig, that's something else. You need to know what the gig is paying, where it is there rehearsal involved, is there a certain look involved, who is that artist, and go study that artist's music as well. Is it to travel? You need to have your passport. Always, mine's in my purse. I have passport. I have voice. I'm ready to go. Got a bag.
I love it. I love it. Yeah.
Because this is my thing. This is what I do.
Right.
Now, if it's not paying so much, but you are going to be doing something with an auspicious artist, then it is worth your time. You need to ask these questions so you know if it's worth your time, because in the audience, like say I did something at BB King's one time, and in the audience was his face. I see his face. He used to do a lot of karate stuff. But anyway, a long story short, this man saw me in the audience and took me and Vicky on the road. Then I did another thing, and I got to go to Europe with C6 Steve, and I worked at the Royal Albert Hall. They're just things that you get to do from being in the right place at the right time with the right attitude and being prepared, that will get you another gig. So I'm ending up singing with Def Leppard, and I'm ending up singing with ZZ Top, and I'm ending up singing with Bon Jovi, and I'm ending up singing with Billy Joel, all because someone said, "Oh, get Kim Fleming because she can do this, she can do that." And like say, I sang with Kevin Whalen, is someone who I sing with, and one time on stage, out of nowhere, he whispered in my ear and said, "Follow me," and he's doing all these incredible riffs and intervals, and I'm like this, but I hung to the very end, and when I got done, I wanted to collapse. And he said, "Because I knew you could do it."
Wow.
And see, that's him observing me, and you know how astute I am and how focused I am about the music. So I'm just encouraging you, if you want to do it for real. Like say, okay, I'm just gonna say, so I got to sing on Kelly Price's record. Well, who would think I would get to sing on Kelly? She sung on a Christmas album with Winona. Yes. Well,
yes.
You know what I'm saying? Kelly and Winona, that's night and day. But yes. I'm in the middle, you know, and I'm still oohing and on and making that thing happen. And it was a very good record for Kelly. So you just never know what you're gonna do, but you need to be prepared at all times. I went off on that. So now did I do the 3.2? Did I get to the last part of my
yes.
Did I get all my points out?
You got most of them. You have do not depend on others to call you for work.
Right. Now here's the thing. I've been doing this a while, and people will call me a legend, which I don't know how to take that, but I'm going to take it as a compliment because I'm seasoned.
Yes.
Experienced.
Yes. And qualified.
Yes. And so at this juncture, a lot of times they're looking for young kids because the music changes and this type of stuff. You have to keep up with the music, keep up with the changes. But then you have to create your own stuff. And so I've started doing fundraisers because I know a lot of people, and my thing is to help those people in the industry who are struggling, because you know this is a famine storm type of industry where one season you may be really on a roll and the next season you may not be doing anything. And what if you get sick in the middle of that? Well, do you have insurance?
Yeah.
Can you pay for your insurance? Or if you were to pass away, could your family pay for your funeral? And so I have been doing fundraisers, benefits, to raise money for people like us. And one thing has led to another, and now I'm creative director of entertainment for the 150th anniversary of the Fifth Jubilee Singers, and I'm responsible for 4 or 5 shows. It's a year-long celebration, but Dr. Kwame specifically said he would like for me to put these shows together, and so I know how to put together the show, the band, the singers, the venue, the lighting, the sound, the security, the whole gamut. I know how to do that. And that's just from being on the road, watching people, observing. Because see, while the crew is doing their thing, I'm sitting out in the hall paying attention.
Yes.
And I'm going to tell you somebody who taught me this, Bette Midler. I did a special. Bette Midler knows the angles. She knows the dBs of the soundboard. She knows which light goes. I mean, this woman knows everything. No one has to. She doesn't sit down and let them do it. No. She's proactive and very much involved. And I learned from that. And every time they say lights, camera, action, she was every time. She's not the most perfect singer, but she's professional. She's
very
every time and on time, dressed and ready to go. And that is a true professional. And I got chill bumps just thinking about that experience with Bette Midler and Arif Martin. Now, how am I going to see Arif Martin? Because God guided my path to allow me to do that special with her and to sing, background for her. Now, I'm just saying your gift will make a way for you, but your attitude will too. I'm not a gully girl. I'm not a real blues singer, reveal all type of a girl. I try to keep it classy and intact because I want to sing for the upper echelon. I don't mind singing for any and everybody, but my goal is to be on the A team. And ultimately, I would like to be singing my own songs on the Grammys, not singing background, you know what I mean? But you have to be prepared for that. That's cool. You're constantly learning. You learn from every single person. And if you don't get the call to sing on it, create your own show. Show and feature other people. I do not mind helping other people. In fact, it makes me feel good to help other people, give other people an opportunity. I mean, everybody's not going to say thank you, and sometimes people are going to hurt your feelings in the midst of it. But when I close my eyes, I can say that I gave purely, not to gain anything, but just because there was the unction of God to say, hey, call this person or give this person a chance or let this person, and especially if people are open to instruction. Like I teach singers how to sing, and my best singers are ones who are like sponges, because when I was coming up, I was like a sponge. Like I grew up with Vicky and Donna, and they were rough on me, but I didn't got no attitude because I knew I wanted to be on the top. I knew I wanted to sing with everybody.
That's right.
And so I took it all in, create your own. Constantly reinvent yourself. It doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter what your figure is like. It doesn't. What matters is your gift.
Yes.
How you give it to people, how you present it to people, and being one that allows God to, be used through you. You bless other people, and so just find a way. I paint. I do makeup artistry. I model. I do theater. I mean, I've done the whole nine. If I want to keep working, and I learned how to be a leader and to be an organizer and put things together in a professional manner. So I've done wardrobe. I mean, I've done choreography. I learned it all, and so there's so many things to do in this. You can be a publisher, you can be a song pusher, you can be a stylist. I mean, a manager, a road manager, an agent, just so many things, a lawyer.
Right.
There's so many things that you can do. You don't have to be the talent all the time.
That's right.
You can still work and make a lucrative living doing this. And so I hope today that I've encouraged somebody to be serious about it and to do it and do it well. Did that answer your question?
Oh yes, it did. I'm so full right now because I'm like, when I grow up, this is what you're exactly what I want to be when I grow up.
Yeah, that's what I said about Shaka Khan. I know Shaka Khan was like, oh my God, I just want to be like, but yeah, I find there's several people in the industry that I just really, when I was a child, I was just like, oh my God, if I could just do that, and some of them I've worked for. Like I've most recently worked for Dionne Warwick, and I worked for Patti LaBelle, and I've worked for Shaka, not on stage, but I assisted her on some things, you know.
That's awesome.
But they're just people who I admire that I thought, oh my God, will I ever, you know, and I have worked with just a whole gamut of people that I wouldn't have ever believed would cross paths with me. And so, like I say, being at the right place at the right time and always being prepared.
That's right.
And you study everything, because you just never know. And be open.
Be open.
Be open. You sing country one moment, you sing heavy metal another moment, you're singing jazz another moment, you're singing Zydeco.
Yes.
You know what I mean? You just be open. If you really want to work. And then at one point or another, you take all these things and then you create your own.
Yes.
What you want to do. Take all these influences. Like I said, I like smooth jazz, but I can put some reggae in there, or you know, some soul beat, you know, neo soul in there, and then a bridge, and you know, have it. Da, 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 da. You know, you can just interpret stuff. Create your own sound. You know, so don't be so rigid that you can't grow. Right. Be open to growing. Did I say everything that you want to?
There's developing artistry. What type of music brings out your true passion? But I like how you said be open, because some people really do box themselves in with what they're comfortable with. And growth a lot of time comes with when you're put in a position of being uncomfortable. And so, like you said, if you're open to learn and you're open to grow, then you'll find yourself in, like you said, in open doors that you never expected. And when I say I am full, because again, I'm going to say it again. When I grow up, I want to be like you.
Well, I want to just expound on that point you were making. I have a girlfriend who's an incredible singer. And I introduced her to one of the greatest producers on this planet, in my opinion. And he produced the rebirth of Kirk Franklin, amongst so many other things. One of the pristine records I've ever heard. But I used to work for him. He taught me studio technique, basically. And anyway, I put her with him, and to your point, she just wanted to sing what she felt God put in her heart to sing, but he heard something beyond her vision. Right. That would take her to the next place. Yes. And I was suggesting compromise. Do what he's hearing, and then do what you're hearing. Because sometimes when you get on stuff, sometimes you have to be set up on that freshman record to do what you really are, unless you're somebody like a Prince, or you know what I'm saying? Right. It's just like super naturally, magical. But if you are someone who's flexible and who's willing to grow and get information from the experts, unless it's something just crazy, you know, like something bizarre, it's just not you. Right. Then I can see that. But be willing to, if you have the opportunity to sit before Quincy Jones, hallelujah. Yeah. If Quincy Jones says, try this, Kim, then I'm going to try it, and I'm going to do the best I can. And if it just doesn't work out for me, then that's something different. But his knowledge and what he hears and what he sees in me, I'm going to trust for that moment, just because of his track record. You know,
that's right. That's right.
Sometimes you have to be wise about these things.
That's right.
At the same time, still trying to be who you are, be yourself.
That's right. That's right. Well, Miss Kimberly Fleming, again, this has been an honor having you on, and you're sharing a wealth of knowledge and just free. You've just been so free giving on this evening, and with her wealth of knowledge and her experience, this little time span, it's not enough time, really. But I thank you for the time that you have given us on this evening. I am so full. Like I said earlier, I'm going to keep saying it. When I grow up, I want to be like you. Oh my gosh. And I hope and pray that we can bring Miss Kimberly Fleming on again in the near future, because there's so much that she does. Like she said, she's not just a vocalist, but she's a teacher, master teacher, different things like that. But before we go, can you please let the people know, the audience know, how can they reach you or your social media handles?
Well, let me see. I'm on Facebook as Kimberly D Fleming, and I think that I'm on Instagram. I think I'm putting cookies on Instagram, and then on YouTube I'm Kim Fleming.
Yes.
And, then you could reach me through Turning Point Productions. That is Gene Wilson at Turning Point. But those are my three immediate. You can inbox me on Facebook, Kimberly D Fleming, D like in Denise, and then on Instagram it's Pudding Cookies. And,
I love that.
And then Pudding Cookies with no G, PUDDINCOOKIES. And then on YouTube, it's Kim Fleming. Yes.
We are so elated to have you again this evening. Thank you so much for agreeing to be a panelist on this evening. And God bless you. God bless you. I pray that you can become another panel of mine, because she has a wealth of knowledge, and then she's free. She doesn't mind, like she said, blessing other people who want to learn. And so we thank you so much. We appreciate you so much. God bless you. And this has been Miss Kimberly Fleming, our fourth panelist for this evening. Thank you so much. God bless you.
Thank you. You too. Love you. Have a good day.
Ooh, Jesus, the ultimate gift. Oh, Jesus, this wonderful gift. He's the gift of life, gift of love, gift of peace and joy from above. Oh, Jesus, this wonderful gift of love. Jesus, the ultimate gift. He's the ultimate gift. Jesus, this wonderful gift. Yeah. He's the gift of life. Yeah. Gift of love, gift of peace and joy from above. Oh, Jesus, this wonderful gift. This wonderful gift of love. Jesus, the ultimate gift. He's the ultimate gift. Jesus, this wonderful gift. Yeah. He's the gift of life. Yeah. Gift of love, gift of peace and joy from above. Oh, Jesus, this wonderful gift. This wonderful gift of love. Jesus, yeah. The ultimate gift. The wonderful gift. This wonderful gift. Nothing great. This wonderful gift. This wonderful gift, love. Yeah. You see, I believe that everyone likes to receive gifts at some time in their life. It doesn't matter how young or how old you may be, how rich or how poor you may be. Well, I want to tell you about the best gift that you can ever get. I'm talking about a gift that you can receive on any occasion. I'm talking about this gift called Jesus. He's the giver of life. He's the giver of love, true love. He's the giver of peace, joy, and happiness. I'm talking about Jesus.